11 conservative members of Congress have introduced articles of impeachment against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. He is the Justice Department official who oversees Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. The group charges Rosenstein with, quote, high crimes and misdemeanors for failing to produce all the documents the group has requested. North Carolina's Mark Meadows is leading the impeachment effort and could force a vote on it today. President Trump has tweeted a photo of himself embracing the European Union Commission president, saying the two men love each other. They met for trade talks yesterday at the White House and announced a plan to hold off on new tariffs. President Trump says the U.S. will suspend plans to tax European auto imports and says the EU has agreed to buy more U.S. soybeans and increase its imports of liquefied natural gas from the U.S. Now closer to home, details about last week's violent attack within Yellowstone National Park near Mammoth Hot Springs have just been released. One man is behind bars and is accused of attacking a woman in a bathroom and using bear spray on his victims. MTM's Mallory Peebles reports.
An affidavit says it was in this bathroom that a woman was attacked by a man named Jackson Coombs. The document also says he wrapped toilet paper around his face and neck, likely to conceal his identity.
According to the victim, when she went to leave her bathroom stall, a man started banging on the door until the lock busted. She says that's when he started punching her in the face and she began calling for help. Her boyfriend rushed over and says a physical fight broke out where he was bitten twice by Coombs and bear sprayed in the face. However, all three were affected by the bear spray. Court documents say the female victim ran to get authorities and another man helped pin Coombs until rangers arrived.
Coombs remains in custody in Wyoming. Reporting from Yellowstone National Park, I'm Mallory Peebles for MTN News.
Court documents say Coombs was also in possession of a knife at the time of the attack. In court news, a Helena man pleads guilty to murdering his parents in the Helena Valley in March. Caleb David Taylor pleaded guilty to 2 counts of deliberate homicide in Lewis and Clark County District Court Wednesday morning. As part of a plea agreement, prosecutors dropped charges of burglary and theft. The bodies of David and Charlotte Taylor were found in their home by a family friend who had become concerned when repeated calls were not returned. Prosecutors allege that Caleb Taylor, along with several other people, burglarized his parents' business and that David and Charlotte confronted Caleb about the crime. Court documents reveal that on Sunday, March 18th, Caleb and 2 other men, Journey Weineke and Kyle Ham, drove to the Taylors' home. Investigators say Ham waited outside while Taylor and Weineke went inside. Surveillance video from a car wash later shows Taylor and Weineke washing off their shoes and all 3 cleaning out Taylor's pickup truck along with a long metal bar investigators believe was the murder weapon. A sentencing date has not been set. Weineke and Ham have pleaded not guilty. A Missoula man is charged with leaving his child in a locked hot car in a grocery store parking lot earlier this week. 31-year-old William Adams is charged with felony criminal endangerment, misdemeanor criminal possession of dangerous drugs, and theft. Missoula police were dispatched to a grocery store Monday on a report that a child was locked inside a van that was not running and was strapped into a car seat. When police arrived, they found a 2-year-old child visibly in distress, crying and sweating profusely. Officers couldn't locate the driver of the van, so Missoula Fire broke the window to retrieve the child and transported him to St. Pat's. A short time later, officers observed the owner of the vehicle, Adams, walking towards the van and arrested him. During Adams' arrest, officers found a small plastic container with butane hash oil and 2 stolen candy bars. Adams appeared on those charges in Missoula Justice Court on Wednesday. On the campaign trail, Vice President Mike Pence set the stage during his stop in Billings Wednesday for a high-profile Senate battle in November. Q2's Samantha Harrelson was there.
Well, hello, Montana.
The vice president wasted no time getting the crowd of about 400 Montanans riled up Wednesday morning. But before he made his appearance, there was a roundtable discussion with area business owners who spoke about the tax bill and the impact on their businesses. From there, Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke spoke before Senate hopeful Matt Rosendale took the stage. Then the vice president addressing the crowd, voicing his support for Rosendale and highlighting the importance to the Trump administration's agenda of keeping a Republican majority in Congress.
I mean to tell you, the obstruction that liberals and Democrats on Capitol Hill have put up for this president has has no historical precedent. And frankly, we've done it all despite the consistent opposition of Chuck Schumer and of your Senator, Sen Tester.
He spent much of his speech highlighting the top priorities of the Trump administration, including immigration, the economy, and of course the main topic of the event, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act signed into law by the president.
We cut taxes for businesses large and small so that companies here in Montana can compete and win and create jobs against any company anywhere in the world. In case you haven't noticed, confidence is back. Jobs are coming back. To put it plainly, America is back, and we're just getting started.
In Billings, Samantha Harrelson, MTN News.
The vice president flew out of Billings on Air Force 2 just before noon Wednesday. He headed to Grand Forks, North Dakota for a couple of campaign events and then went back home to Washington, D.C. And we did reach out to Senator Sen Tester's campaign to get its take on the vice president's visit. Communications Director Chris Marr told us Senator Tester could not support the Trump tax cuts because he believes they'll add to the deficit while giving tax breaks to corporations. During the vice president's visit to Billings, his wife took a tour of Tom Larson's apiary on the West End. Larson's apiary houses 4,000 beehives. Karen Pence watched the extraction process firsthand Wednesday. At her home back in Washington, the beekeeper extracted honey for the first time since the hives were installed just over a year ago. Mrs. Pence has expressed the importance of pollinators and their critical role in the production of agricultural products.